window, and hey, guess what? We had snow clouds, and we had some snow. Hey, so it's Friday. Yesterday I felt horrible. I did overdo it Wednesday from doing the cleaning. But I rested up yesterday and I actually fell asleep before my husband did. And I woke up like I always do before him, but I went back to sleep. But anyway, the meteorologist was actually correct today, which is really surprising. When I got up earlier, I looked up. Still had rain clouds, but the guy from Spectrum came out about an hour ago and he said something about it snowing. Then my husband told me it was snowing, and I looked out the window and hey, guess what? We had snow clouds, and we had some snow, but it's just like sticking to the cars and the roofs and the ground. It's not sticking yet to our parking lot. So anyway, I just overdid it Wednesday, and I had a feeling that I had done it because I was so exhausted when I got done. So yesterday was just a complete sleep all day and rest in the bed all day, and that's about all I did. I did a couple of shootings, but not a couple of shootings. I did a little bit. I did a couple of vlogs or whatever, and but I didn't. So my husband went to Sam's Club today and he called me, and my phone is hardly ever on, and this was one of the times that my phone was on mute, and I was actually in the shower when he called, but the Spectrum guy was calling to let him know that he was on the way, and he was calling me to let me know the guy was on his way. But my phone is hardly ever on, and the reason is because nobody calls me. I mean, the phone's on, it's just on mute, or it's on vibrate, and either way, nobody calls me. I'm not a popular person. I usually get text messages or you know, messages from Facebook, but even so, a lot of times I just texted somebody, and I do the same thing with my husband when he's at work, like, what time are you going to be home? Does this sound good for dinner? Or, you know, stuff like that. I am one of these people that can leave the house and leave their cell phone and it not faze them a bit. And you know, I like the electronics. I like being on the internet. But at some point, I get bored with it. I guess it's just because, you know, the newness has worn off. That's just like getting your very first computer with internet, dial-up internet. I mean, that was the coolest thing to have. And, you know, you were on it all the time, in the chat rooms all the time. And then now it's just kind of like, yeah, there's no chat rooms, there's none of this. That's where Facebook comes in. That's where Twitter comes in. They've replaced the chat rooms. But I don't know. I'm just not that big into electronics. There's certain things I like, certain things I want, and I am happy with it. And for me to go without my cell phone, that's just normal. A lot of times I'll put it down somewhere thinking, oh, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to have to pick it up before I leave. And I'll leave without it. Or I'll have to call my cell phone and hope and pray that I had turned it back on. Or I'll call from my husband's phone. Well, sometimes I don't get that lucky and I'm having to search for it. And then the whole time it's underneath my nose the whole time. So, yeah. The only time I really don't mind being on the phone, if it's something that I want to get out right now. If I want to know something right then, I don't want to be patient. I want the answer right then and there. And I do that a lot with my kids. If you're not answering my text messages, you better answer my phone call. But I can go, and I know it was aggravating to my husband, and but hey, you know, Spectrum guy didn't come out here when he said he was going to be here. You know, some of these people, they just say, hey, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes, and their 10 minutes turns into 30 minutes. And so, you know, and two, you know, he came in and said something to my husband about it snowing outside. Then my husband come in here and say, hey, Anna, you know, it's snowing outside. Well, when my husband had not returned home from Sam's Club, I had looked outside. There were still rain clouds outside, and a little drizzle. And then, you know, the guy from Spectrum came in and said, oh yeah, it's snowing outside. And I looked outside, I looked at the clouds. Hey, yeah, we finally had some snow clouds. And yeah, it's snowing and it's pretty, but it's only hitting the cars and, you know, the roofs of the buildings and our grass. It's not hitting the pavement yet. We were called, and what the meteorologist was saying we were going to get is ice and snow. We always get ice, and that's a normal for us. They're calling what was it, 3 to 5 inches of snow for us. Okay, the meteorologist man, it was on track. Yeah, we got the rain. That's gonna freeze over tonight, no doubt in my mind. The snow, I don't know. I'm gonna wait on that one. I can always predict the weather, and I go by the clouds. I have been right more times than he's been right. I don't know how many times that we have been told that we're going to get snow, and I look outside and I'm like, no, we're not. You know, we're going to get rain. We might get a little snow later, but we're getting rain. We're not getting snow. And it's all in the clouds. It's reading the clouds. I don't need a Doppler system. I just need the clouds. Anyway, and you know, I go by my family in Illinois. I'll call them up or I'll text them, hey, what's your weather? Because whatever their weather is, it travels down I-64 east, straight into Louisville. And I always know. Well, it's like this there. Theirs is usually harder there than what it is here. So it's not gonna get as bad here as it is there. So I always go by them too. And I like listening to the Weather Channel. Weather Channel is so more on point than local weather. But I can be a boring person. I'm just not, I don't know. As I've gotten older, I'm just not, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I've gotten older and I got set in my ways, and you know, when you're younger and all you do in life is be a parent, you get what you need, you get what you have to have, and anything else is a luxury. You don't, I don't know, you don't get that excited about things. And so, you know, I'm still like that. You know, I like my clothes. I love clothes. I'm not a shoe person like some women. I am a clothing person. I like my designer clothes. I like my designer purses. Although I've been good. I have not bought a designer purse. Actually, the last designer purse I got was a Dooney & Burke, and my husband bought it for me. And that was 3 years ago. don't want to say 2 years ago. But anyway, at this point, I was still buying Coach. And so he asked me which one I want. Well, I always love their hobo bags. So he bought me the Dooney and Burke 2 years ago. And I've not bought any new ones since. But that's just, I'm not a shoe person. I don't buy shoes unless I have to have them. But when I buy them, I make sure I buy the good ones. But I'm not a big, the only things I really collect are, when I buy stuff for Christmas, like ornaments. Ornaments are something I look at. I grew up with, what's the word I use for this? I grew up with old-fashioned type stuff. My parents would be, my dad was born in 1920. My dad would be, this is 98. My dad would be 98 this year. My mom would be 88. I was brought up old school, very old school. And so you can imagine the type of things we had on our Christmas tree. And the ornaments, old ornaments, oh my God, beautiful ornaments. And so now they're kind of hard to find, to replicate. So when I can find them, they're not the original ones, but to kind of replicate the kind that I grew up with, I'll buy them. As far as like Christmas ornaments for yearly, I like to go to JCPenney's or this ornament shop. Or there was one that I had ordered to make for me and Ed's first Christmas. But I collect Thomas Kincaid stuff. I am a big collector of his. I have a lot of Thomas Kincaid. It is not out to show. I do have some things that are out. I have some things that are put up, and there's some things that when I have another dining room that will be displayed. But right now it's mostly all put up except for a few things. Two, at Christmas time, I always, well, every year, except this past year, I don't know why I didn't do it. I may just do it, buy one thing twice this year, or two different things this year to make up for last year. I don't know. I kept meaning to do it, and I didn't, so I don't know what I'll do. But anyway, I buy a Thomas Kincaid Christmas, like, I've got the Christmas nativity set, Christmas tree, and it's about 2 feet tall, and it lights up and tells a Christmas story. Not the Christmas story. No, it always sings Christmas songs. That's what it is. A Silent Night and a few other Christmas songs, and it lights up. Then I have a 2-story house. This is all Thomas Kincaid, very expensive, and you can have it all lit up and not do anything, or you could let it tell the Christmas story the night before Christmas, and it blinks as it goes through the house as it tells the story, and it lights up each additional room. And so I didn't buy anything this year, and I think the year just flew by too fast, and I had a lot of things happen. My daughter, I had blood work, I had to go see a oncologist, I had to go, I had just way too much happening over the year, and to me, it just really, honestly, just slipped my mind. So, this year, I'm going to do it early, so I know that I don't let it slip my mind, because I'm trying to do things in order to have something to pass along to, you know, my children whenever I get older and I'm not doing the big Christmas thing anymore. Because, you know, after you reach a certain age, I mean, my mom, we always had the Christmas tree thing, and we always had the decoration things, and we had the outside decoration thing. But to be honest, do I think she still would have done that if she still had two teenagers at home? I don't think so. I think that but she was still very, very capable of putting up the Christmas tree and everything. But that was back in the old day. Back whenever I was young, we still had the Christmas tree that I grew up with. And, you know, you had to put each additional branch on it. But I don't even know, could you? I think you could buy a brand new one and you didn't have to do all that then. I don't remember. Because I'm trying to think of my new tree, how I had to do it. I don't remember. I think, yeah, you had to go by collars of the limbs and put them on. Anyway, so I think she might have went on. I don't know, but you know, with my chronic illnesses, and you know, I don't know that in 20 years that I'm going to be wanting to put a Christmas tree up. And you know, this year, I don't know that I would have put a Christmas tree up if I'd known that my kids weren't coming in. I think maybe I would have went out and bought maybe a 3 or 4 foot tree and been done with it. But anyway, so, you know, there's just things that, you know, you might put out every single year, and then you get to a certain age and you just don't do that anymore. You know, it's time to pass things along to your children and let your children enjoy it with their grandchildren and you know, that sort of thing. So I don't know. Well, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the TV show Deadly Women, but I've watched like the last few hours well, maybe not last few hours, maybe the last couple hours of it. It's on the ID channel. And it amazes me just how many people are just sick out in the world. I mean, these people are killing their husbands all because they want to have an affair, or but most of it is out of greed. I think, why don't they just divorce them? But when it all boils down to it, it's because they want money, and divorce is messy, and they don't want to do that. They want money. So it's all out of greed. It's sad, really. You know, when I was married to my ex-husband, I never ever thought about killing him. Out of all of our issues we had, I never thought about killing him. Left him, or he left, and I wouldn't let him come back. But yeah, no, never thought about ever killing anybody. These women are truly crazy. If you ever get a chance, watch it. I think there's another one coming on right now. I've got it paused on my television. But anyway, I was just coming back on here because it is 7 o'clock my time, and I really haven't had any vlogs posted in a little while, and so I thought that maybe that I would go ahead and get one uploaded, and because I think it's been a couple of days since I've actually uploaded one, and since this vlog really isn't mainly about anything in particular, I don't really know what I'm gonna call it yet, but anyway, there's just a lot of good shows on TV, and I watch a lot of the ID, the Forensic Files, and things like that. I don't know why. I always been kind of interested in those things. But anyway, how am I feeling right now? Well, I was okay until I put a little something in my stomach, and then the bloating came back, and of course, now I'm trying to get rid of it, which is not gonna happen, so I'm just gonna lay here and keep watching TV and upload this video and just lay here and watch TV. So I will see you guys in the morning. Good night.